Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Londa. I'm the Crazy Vegan. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. So we're going to be starting, since all the holidays are over and all that, and some of us really need to get some poundage off, so I decided to do a weight loss session with you guys. So this video is going to be a little bit different. There is no cooking in this video. I will give you the 15 rules of the weight loss session. You will find a short PowerPoint for each one, just highlighting it, highlighting whatever rule that is, and then what I'm going to do is explain after what that rule consists of. So let's start with the first rule and let's get started. The first rule is food journal. What that means is you need to keep an honest food journal, either the first week or the entire 21 days of every food that you eat. If you mess up and eat something that's not on the compliance list, then you need to make sure you write that down. Even if you do eat something compliant, you still need to write it down. The reason is for you and you alone. You want to figure out what you're eating that is hindering your weight loss. I'll give an example what I had last time I did this. Last time I lost about 20 pounds in the 21 days. So let's see how it goes this time. The example I'm going to use was my biggest problem, which was avocados. For each of my salads, I would put about a half avocado on every salad, and I would eat multiple salads a day along with all my other things. At first I had a problem. I wasn't losing much, and when I finally did, it was because I looked at my food journal and I saw that, well, one of the things that I was eating was the avocado, and it is rather high in fat. So what I did is I cut it down to about a quarter of an avocado per salad, and I started to lose the weight again. So it is for your eyes. It is to help you in your session. So remember, an honest food journal so you can pinpoint what you are or are not doing to progress in your weight loss session. Rule number 2, whole foods, plant-based. What that means is everything that you are going to be eating is a whole foods, plant-based item, and minimally processed. Minimally processed means there are only 1, 2, or possibly 3 ingredients in your processed item. One example would be your plant milks. A lot of plant milks you can actually get only the water and whatever plant that you chose: oat, rice, hemp, almond, soy. Yet other brands have a lot of added ingredients, some of which you can't even pronounce. Those are the ones you want to stay away from. You want only the 1, 2, or 3 ingredients, and you need to be able to know what those ingredients are. If it is long ingredients that you can't even pronounce, chances are it's not on the list, because they're not minimally processed if they require so much ingredients for that item. So, whole foods, plant-based, minimally processed. Whole foods means in their whole state: fruit, vegetables, legumes, beans, root vegetables, fruits, whatever. That does not mean like dried fruits or juices, because those are not in their whole state. You want to avoid anything that's not in the whole state because you want a good food. So let's move on. The third rule is no animal products. No animal products means nothing that came from an animal. No milk, no dairy, no eggs, no poultry, no fish, no shellfish, no beef, no lamb, no turkey, none of that. If it came from an animal in any way, then you can't have it. Because this is a whole foods plant based weight loss session, not one that has standard American diet. So, no animal products. Sorry. The fourth rule is read your labels. You need to read your labels because a lot of the things that say that they are minimally can't even say that, minimally processed is not what they say. I gave the example of the plant milk. Well, that also goes for other things. Um, because you need things minimally processed, you're not going to be able to eat things like the vegan cheeses, the vegan pre-done meat products like tempeh or soy burgers or garden burgers or things like that, because they're processed and they've got stuff in it that you probably can't have. If you want something like that, you need to make it yourself. There's a lot of videos out there that tell you how to make your own bean burgers or um, things like that. So, minimally processed, read your labels, make sure there's no wacky ingredients that is some sort of chemical that's going to hinder your health. So, read your labels, all your labels. You want minimally processed, and most of the time, those things that you try to buy in the store are not minimally processed. Read labels. Next is the specific no list. We have no alcohol, no fruit juice, no soda, no coffee unless it's black. If you can't have your coffee without a sweetener, then you can't have the coffee. You'll just have to suck it up and have the caffeine withdrawals, have your headache for 3 to 5 days, depending on how much coffee you normally consume. The only way you can have the coffee is if it's black. You also want no oils and no dried fruit. Dried fruit is normally healthy, even if it is just dried with no added sugars or anything. The problem with the dried fruit is it has all the liquid taken out and it is condensed. So you're more likely to eat way too much of the dried fruit than you would if the fruit was fresh. So no dried fruit. The only exception is dates, when you use your dates as a sweetener in some of your recipes. The next rule is either a small handful of nuts or 1 tablespoon of nut butter. Remember, if it's nut butter, to make sure it's one ingredient, the nut or the seed. No added oil, salt, or sugar, or other ingredients. It needs to be just whatever kind of butter that is, either just peanuts, just sesame seeds, just almonds, just cashews, whatever nut butter that you choose. Make sure that that nut or seed is the only ingredient in your nut butter. Now, you need either one small handful of nuts or, not and, 1 tablespoon of nut butter every day. No more. It's best to eat it either with breakfast, like on some sprouted toast, or with lunch, maybe a little bit of nut butter in some celery, but make sure that that's all you have. No more than the 1 tablespoon or one small handful of nuts. If you eat more than that, what that does is it gives you too much calories and fat. There's a lot condensed in nuts. You need a little bit because you do need that added fat. If you take all the fat out of your diet, then once you do eat the fat, it's going to work twice as hard to make you fat. So keep that in mind. Rule number 7 is snacks on fresh fruit or fresh vegetables. You don't want any other snacks. No trail mixes, no chips, even dried, dehydrated ones or baked. Make sure that the only snack you consume is either fresh fruit or fresh vegetables. You can dip those vegetables in either oil-free hummus that you make yourself with no added oils or salts or anything like that, or one of the compliant dressings, also what you made yourself. If it's whole foods plant-based and you can make a dressing out of it, get creative. You can use that vinegar to help flavor it. Maybe your apple cider vinegar that you eat for the day, that's another rule. We'll get to that. Just remember, snacks, fresh fruit or fresh vegetables. Rule number 8, hydrate. So what you want to do, you're going to need to do it before you start, is you're going to weigh yourself. You're going to take that number that you weighed yourself as, cut that in half, and that's how many ounces you need to drink minimally. It's always good to have more, but never less. We're going to use an example. Let's say 142. You weigh 142, cut that in half. That means you need 71 ounces of water per day, at least. If you live in a dry climate, you're going to want to add about 5 ounces to that at least for minimal. If it's not, well, keep it 71 or more. Rule number 9, if you feel like you need to snack, drink 8 to 12 ounces of water first, wait 20 minutes. Here's the reason. When you do that, you'll know if you are really hungry or really thirsty. A lot of times, people think they're hungry and they're not. They just need some water to hydrate themselves. So drink your water, wait 20 minutes, and if you're still hungry, then eat your snack. That way, you know if you're really hungry or not. Rule number 10, you want to incorporate 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar every day into your diet. You can either add it into your salads, add it into your hummus, take it straight, but make sure you guzzle water afterwards so it doesn't tear up your stomach. All I'm saying is you need to add 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. It helps in your weight loss and it's good for you. I should also add that your apple cider vinegar should be from the mother. You can get that in Bragg's. If you know it's from the mother, it'll say on the bottle. Also, it'll have a lot of sediment at the bottom of the jar. That'll tell you it's from the mother also. I recommend the Bragg's brand because that's the only one I know of, and that's what I use. Rule number 11, don't eat out. For the 21 days of this session, do not eat out. Everything you consume should be eaten at home. Stuff that you put together, that you made, so you know exactly what is in your food. Now, eating out could be questionable. Some restaurants, they cook your vegan or vegetarian items on the same grill they cook their meat, which means your item is no longer vegan because now you have the meat juices of the previous person's food on yours. So keep that in mind too. So don't eat out. eat at home. Rule number 12, do not eat after 6 p.m. However, if you stay up really late till like 11, 12 o'clock at night and you get up late, then you can extend that to 7 p.m., but I recommend keeping it at 6 p.m. Do not eat after 6 p.m. That way your gut has a chance to clean out and do its job and process all that stuff you ate for the day. So don't eat after 6 p.m. Rule number 13, do not eat until full or you can fill your tummy. What you want is you want to eat until you're satiated, until you're no longer hungry. If you eat until you're full, then you ate too much. If you can fill your stomach, you ate too much. So what you need to keep in mind is, especially if you eat quickly, is you can eat, and then you feel full. Well, you're actually fuller than you feel because 10 minutes later you're going to even feel fuller because the food that you ate hadn't completely processed. So along with eating until you're satiated only and not full, you also should eat slowly, which means take at least 20 minutes to eat your meal. That way it has time to get through your system and you know when you're full, you're really full. Rule number 14, no sugar. That means no regular sugar, no date sugar, no sucrose, no artificial sugars, no sugar at all. The only time you can use a sweetener is if you're using actual dates to sweeten a recipe. Other than that, for the 21 days, no sugar. If you're used to having sugar, you're probably going to have sugar withdrawals, headaches, feeling sluggish, but that should last anywhere between 3 days and 5 days. So give yourself at least 5 days to get over that. Your sugar headache, just like a caffeine headache, you're going to have withdrawals if you're used to having sugar. The last rule, rule number 15, is 30 minutes of movement at least every single day. It doesn't have to be some big old workout where you're going to be barely moving and sore when you're done. You just need 30 minutes at least of constant movement. It could be going for a walk, doing a major house cleaning where you're constantly moving, playing with your dog, doing a video online, a workout course at the local gym, something moving your body for 30 minutes every single day. That is one of the rules of 21 days of weight loss session. If you don't do your exercise, at least movement to moving around, then it's going to hinder some of your weight loss. So get moving. All right, those were the 15 rules of the weight loss session. Last time I did this session was years ago, and I lost about 20 pounds in the 21 days, and I followed it exactly. There was the first few days where I wasn't losing anything, and that was due to the avocados. I believe I said that earlier on in the video. So keep an eye on your food journal. You can weigh yourself every day if you want. It really doesn't matter. Keep in mind your weight fluctuates, especially when you're drinking a lot of water. So what you want to do is maybe weigh yourself, but also every week take a tape measure and measure around your middle to see if you've lost any inches. That'll help. But remember, it's 21 days. You can do anything in 21 days. Uh, After the 21 days are up, you can either do another 21 days or you can go back to a regular whole foods plant-based. Um, but I would go back slowly because now your body's used to all the healthy stuff. Um, it's not used to the extra fat or sugars, so go slow. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to let us know how you're doing in the comment section. Subscribe so you get more videos on this. I will be posting several videos during the 21-day session that's related to this. So keep us posted. I'll be posting some of my meals on Instagram at Londa Norman on Instagram. So follow me there, and good luck on your 21 days, and keep us posted. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.